Church of Brian.
So welcome to the Church of Brian. My brothers and sisters, welcome back. Oh my gosh. So, one of the things I've been forced to deal with is how to address those people who are religious zealots. Perhaps they are Muslim, perhaps they are Hindu. Oh, those Taoists are just beating down the doors with their desire to impose their wills on all of it. No, actually, my gosh, this might surprise you, but what I'm talking about are the Christians. They want to impose their will on everyone. They want to impose Christian Sharia law on the masses. And it's un-American. It's unconstitutional. Even President John Adams said this is not a Christian nation. Guys, come on, this is a secular nation. If you want to impose Christian beliefs, then Muslims who work at the DMV should not be required to issue driver's licenses to women. Because, let's face it, women are supposed to be subservient. That's not just from Islamic texts, that's from Abrahamic texts, which includes Christian. But, let's not get into that. No, what I'd like to do when it comes to absurd, insane, radical zealots of any faith is I like to out-Christ them. So when they say, the Bible says gays are abhorrent, I say, exactly. You're right. You're dead right. You know what we should do? We should also murder those who wish to use cloth woven of two fabric. Oh, it's in Leviticus. Come on, bring it. The lobster fishermen in Maine? Oh, heathens. Let's put them to death. Well, it's not about putting them to death. We just have to stop them. Great. Let's stop all domestic shrimperies. If a woman does not bring two birds to the priest as an offering for her sin of having a period, oh my gosh, we've got to bring her to justice. So I like to out-Christ them. So when they start saying, well, this is God's will, I say, well, gay marriage is never, ever, ever mentioned. You supposing the lack of mention is not the same thing as a forbidden item. No, if you want to suggest that Christ doesn't permit same-sex marriage because he never got around to mentioning it, and by the way, if it was so important, Christ would have mentioned it. If you're a person of faith, you have to admit he's a pretty fucking wise man. And if you're not a person of faith, it doesn't matter because he's imaginary in the first place, and whatever, it's fine. So no, if we're going to outlaw all things Christ didn't mention, then artificial insemination, any form of hyper-vigilant procreational method, all of those are out. They're out. Christ did not say you could use in vitro fertilization. If he had wanted you to, he would have mentioned it. Well, that's just dumb. I know two things. One is that Christ would want you to have children, and 2, Christ is imaginary. He's an echo of an echo of an echo of a fable. Maybe he existed. The scriptures are inconclusive if you look at them from a historical perspective. I'm getting bogged down in details. No, guys, if you want to debate with someone who is hyper-Christian, turbo-Christian, you cannot do it with reason. Reason is a language they do not speak. No, what you have to do is approach them with the same absurdity in which they deal in trade. So if they say, Doug Stanhope did a bit where he said he saw these abortion posters and billboards, and the guy put his name and phone number on it, and he called the guy, and the guy actually answered. It wasn't like a voicemail or something. And Doug Stanhope said, "Why are you showing these sexy naked children, you pervert? How dare you? You're disgusting," and hung up on him. So that's kind of what you have to do. When they say, gay marriage is not allowed, you have to say, listen, bitch, your ass got divorced. You're going to hell. You have no right to judge others. When they... Anyway, there are 1,000 examples of this, but seriously, Church of Brian, I'm here for you. I await your first donation. No, but seriously, there are only so many ways you can deal with the turbo Christians, and the only language they speak is turbo Christianity, so use that. When they say, I dislike skirts that are above the knee, you say, I dislike women. I don't know. It's kind of how they work. You just have to beat them at their own game. And eventually they'll recoil and slink off into the night. But sometimes you might have to really push them. Because that's kind of the only way they do business.